Welcome to Brainwaves. In this video, we will explore the fascinating history of the Inuit people. The Inuit are indigenous peoples who have inhabited the Arctic regions of Canada, Greenland, and Alaska for thousands of years. They have a rich cultural heritage and a deep connection to the harsh yet breathtaking landscapes they call home. Join us as we delve into the origins, way of life, historical encounters, and the modern society of the Inuit people. In the section titled 1.1 Prehistoric Origins of the Inuit, we delve into the ancient roots of the Inuit people. Before the arrival of the Tuli people, the ancestors of the Inuit, there were various prehistoric cultures in the Arctic region that are believed to have contributed to their origins. These early cultures, such as the Independence I and pre-Dorset cultures, left behind a wealth of archaeological evidence, including tools, dwellings, and artistic expressions. Through the study of artifacts and oral histories, scientists have pieced together a narrative of the early development and migration patterns of the Inuit, shedding light on their remarkable journey to become the resilient and adaptive people they are today. In the section titled 1.2 Tuli Culture and Expansion, we explore the significant impact of the Tuli culture on the Inuit civilization. Around the 13th century, the Tuli people, an Arctic culture originating from Alaska, started migrating eastward across the Arctic region. They possessed advanced technological and survival skills, which allowed them to adapt to the challenging Arctic environment. With their innovative tools, efficient hunting techniques, and strong social structures, the Tuli people thrived and expanded their territories, ultimately becoming the dominant culture of the Inuit. This era marked a pivotal point in Inuit history, shaping their way of life and societal structures for generations to come. In the section titled 1.3 Inuit Migration Patterns, we delve into the fascinating movement of the Inuit people across the Arctic region. Over time, the Inuit migrated and established communities in various parts of Alaska, Canada, and Greenland. These migrations were driven by a combination of factors, including changes in the environment, availability of resources, and interactions with neighboring groups. The Inuit developed sophisticated knowledge of the Arctic landscapes, allowing them to navigate vast distances and adapt to different ecological zones. Their migration patterns not only shaped their cultural diversity but also contributed to the exchange of knowledge and cultural practices among different Inuit communities. Through their resilient and resourceful approach, the Inuit carved out a unique place in history and formed a strong bond with the Arctic environment. In the section titled 2.1 Subsistence and Hunting, we explore the fundamental aspects of the Inuit way of life centered around survival and sustenance. The harsh Arctic environment required the Inuit to develop unique strategies for hunting and gathering. They relied heavily on hunting marine mammals such as seals, whales, and walruses, as well as fishing and gathering other resources from the land and sea. Their deep understanding of the environment, combined with their expert hunting skills and specialized tools, allowed them to sustain themselves in this challenging region. Through their resourcefulness, the Inuit demonstrated a profound connection with nature and a deep respect for the intricate balance of the Arctic ecosystem. In the section titled 2.2 Social Structure and Kinship, we dive into the intricate web of social relationships and familial ties that define the Inuit society. The Inuit people had a complex social structure built around kinship, where families played a significant role in the community. They lived in small bands or extended family groups and practiced a form of bilateral kinship, where both maternal and paternal relatives held importance. Elders held great wisdom and were highly respected for their knowledge and guidance. Cooperation, sharing, and reciprocity were key values within Inuit society, ensuring the survival and well-being of all members. Through their close-knit social structure, the Inuit fostered a strong sense of community and resilience. In the section titled 2.3 Art, Music, and Storytelling, we explore the vibrant artistic expressions that are an integral part of Inuit culture. The Inuit people have a rich tradition of art, creating intricate sculptures, carvings, and prints that reflect their deep connection to the natural world. These art forms often depict animals, spirits, and scenes from daily life. Inuit music, characterized by throat singing and drumming, has been passed down through generations as a means of storytelling and cultural preservation. Alongside their visual and musical artistry, the Inuit have a rich oral tradition of storytelling, passing down myths, legends, and histories through generations. Through their artistic expressions, the Inuit have preserved their cultural heritage and served as a means of communication and celebration within their communities. In the section titled 3.1 Early European Contacts, we explore the initial interactions between the Inuit and European explorers and traders. The earliest recorded contact occurred during the Viking expeditions to North America around the 10th century. However, sustained contact began in the 16th century when European explorers, including John Cabot and Martin Frobisher, arrived in search of the Northwest Passage and valuable resources. These encounters introduced the Inuit to new technologies, such as firearms and metal tools, as well as foreign diseases. The Inuit adapted to these interactions and engaged in trade relationships with the Europeans, exchanging furs and other resources. These early contacts marked the beginning of significant changes in Inuit culture and way of life. In the section titled 3.2 Fur Trade and Colonial Influence, we delve into the profound impact of the fur trade and European colonial influence on the Inuit way of life. The demand for fur, particularly beaver pelts, led to an extensive and exploitative fur trade. European traders established trading posts along the coastal areas of the Arctic, disrupting traditional Inuit economic systems and introducing a market-based economy. The fur trade not only altered the Inuits' relationship with the land but also brought significant changes in their material culture and social dynamics. Additionally, European colonial influence brought about changes in governance, with the establishment of colonial administrations impacting Inuit autonomy and self-governance. These encounters with European powers and the fur trade forever transformed the fabric of Inuit society. In the section titled 3.3 Impacts of Modernization and Government Policies, we examine the far-reaching consequences of modernization and government policies on the Inuit. As contact with the outside world increased, the Inuit encountered new challenges in the form of forced assimilation and cultural suppression. Government policies aimed at assimilating indigenous peoples, such as the establishment of residential schools, had a devastating impact on Inuit communities, undermining their language, cultural practices, and traditional knowledge. Additionally, the modernization of the Arctic region, including the development of infrastructure and resource extraction projects, has had both positive and negative effects on Inuit communities, impacting their traditional way of life and the delicate balance of the Arctic ecosystem. This section sheds light on the complex relationship between the Inuit and government policies, highlighting the resilience and ongoing struggle for cultural preservation. In the section titled 4.1 The High Arctic Relocations, we explore a dark chapter in Inuit history when forced relocations were implemented by the Canadian government. In the 1950s and 1960s, several Inuit communities in the high Arctic were displaced from their traditional lands and relocated to distant settlements. This relocation policy was primarily driven by the government's desire to assert sovereignty in the Arctic and to address perceived economic and social challenges. The forced relocations had devastating impacts on Inuit families and communities, as they were uprooted from their ancestral lands and forced to adapt to unfamiliar environments. The loss of hunting grounds, disruption of social networks, and cultural disconnection caused immense hardship and trauma for the Inuit, leading to long-lasting effects on their way of life and cultural heritage. In the section titled 4.2 The Canadian Government's Assimilation Policies, we explore the government's efforts to assimilate the Inuit through various policies and programs. One of the most significant initiatives was the establishment of residential schools, where Inuit children were forcibly removed from their families and communities to be educated in institutions that aimed to eradicate their culture and language. The harsh conditions, abuse, and loss of cultural identity experienced by many Inuit in these schools had a profound and intergenerational impact. Additionally, the government imposed restrictions on traditional practices such as hunting, fishing, and trapping, further disrupting Inuit livelihoods and cultural traditions. These assimilation policies not only caused immense harm but also reflected a lack of recognition and respect for Inuit rights and autonomy. In the section titled 4.3 Inuit Land Claims and Self-Governance, we explore the resilience and perseverance of the Inuit in reclaiming their rights and establishing self-governance. Inuit communities and organizations have been at the forefront of advocating for land claims, seeking recognition of their traditional territories and the right to self-determination. Through negotiations and legal processes, various land claim agreements have been reached, leading to the establishment of Inuit-owned lands and self-governing bodies. These achievements have provided greater control over resource management, cultural preservation, and decision-making processes for the Inuit. The ongoing process of land claims and self-governance ensures that the Inuit maintain their cultural heritage, strengthen their communities, and assert their rights in shaping their own future. In the section titled 5.1 Cultural Revitalization and Preservation, we explore the efforts of the Inuit in contemporary society to revitalize and preserve their rich cultural heritage. Recognizing the importance of preserving their unique identity, Inuit communities have actively engaged in cultural revitalization programs. These efforts include preserving traditional practices such as hunting, fishing, and crafting, as well as promoting Inuit art, music, and storytelling. Language revitalization initiatives have also played a significant role in preserving the Inuit languages, which are considered integral to their cultural identity. Through cultural events, community gatherings, and educational programs, the Inuit have prioritized the transmission of cultural knowledge and traditions to younger generations. These endeavors demonstrate the resilience and determination of the Inuit people to maintain their cultural heritage and ensure its continuation for future generations. In the section titled 5.2 Inuit Education and Language Revitalization, we explore the vital role of education in preserving Inuit culture and revitalizing their languages. Inuit education has evolved to prioritize cultural relevance and the inclusion of traditional knowledge, aiming to provide a holistic and empowering learning experience for Inuit students. Language revitalization programs have been integral in preserving and promoting Inuit languages, as language is seen as the key to preserving cultural identity. Efforts have been made to incorporate Inuit languages into the school curriculum, establish bilingual education programs, and provide resources for language learning. Inuit-led initiatives are empowering communities to reclaim their languages and facilitate intergenerational language transmission. Through these educational and language revitalization efforts, the Inuit are strengthening their cultural resilience and fostering a sense of pride and belonging among future generations. In the section titled 5.3 Challenges and Resilience in Contemporary Inuit Society, we acknowledge the challenges faced by the Inuit in modern times while highlighting their resilience in the face of adversity. Contemporary Inuit society continues to confront various social, economic, and environmental challenges. These challenges include the impacts of climate change on traditional hunting practices, the effects of colonization and forced assimilation, the erosion of cultural knowledge, and socioeconomic disparities. However, the Inuit people have shown remarkable strength and adaptability in navigating these challenges. Their resilience is evident in their ability to maintain cultural practices, preserve traditional knowledge, and assert their rights for self-governance and land ownership. By drawing upon their rich cultural heritage and working together as a community, the Inuit people are actively addressing these challenges and shaping a more inclusive and sustainable future. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the history of the Inuit. We have discovered their incredible resilience, resourcefulness, and unique cultural traditions. Despite facing numerous challenges and external influences, the Inuit have managed to preserve their way of life and adapt to the changing world around them. From their ancient origins and migration patterns to the impacts of European contact and government policies, the Inuit have overcome adversity and continued to thrive. Today, they are a vibrant and diverse community with a strong sense of identity and a rich cultural heritage. We hope this video has given you a deeper understanding and appreciation for the history and heritage of the Inuit people. Thank you for joining us on this educational journey.